Respect the talk, respect the talk. 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 Respect the talk, respect the talk.
Hey folks, this is Jerry B from Pride and Glory Travel. Hey, we got our Wild Hogs and Bikers cruise going out November 29th, where we're stopping at Nassau, Cook Bahamas, Coco Cay, and Falmouth, Jamaica. This is going to be one cruise to remember. Why? Because it's our Wild Hogs and Bikers cruise, where we have our own leather and lace karaoke contest. You guys come on. You don't have to be a biker to go. You don't need to wear leather and lace to be a part of the crew. Just come have some fun with us this holiday season. Also, we have a great duo show going on called the Dooley Brothers Entertainment. That's me and my brother from Tomorrow's People. We're going to be rocking the house for you at a private concert just for you guys. We got a miniature golf tournament going on. So folks, come join the fun. We got prices starting at $747 per person. That is just $747 per person for a 7-day beautiful cruise. Pick up the phone, get your rooms booked. Call 920-265-8143. That's Jerry B. That's me, 920-265-8143. And come, we'll see you at sea, y'all. Hey, folks, good afternoon or good early evening. This is Jerry B here. You guys, glad to be out here with you. And guess what? We got my nephew in the house this week, and not from the factory where they got boxes and crap behind them either. You know, the boxes of Barbie dolls or something you had back there for Christmas. What's
That
up,
was
man?
That was furniture. At first, I got to make sure that everybody knows that even though you saw the name tag up there, I work for them, and my opinions have nothing to do with them.
Yeah, you got to
So
put that disclosure up there because,
yeah,
we're not out
yeah,
there supporting Costco unless you want to go get a damn job there, but go, But,
right.
but yeah, but that's with all our advertisers, folks. We're not out here pubbing anything. That's why we got that disclaimer up there. Our advertisers advertise with us, but they don't succumb to what we believe. They got their own beliefs, and if you want to know what their beliefs is, let me know, and I'll send you the president's phone number to every one of those companies, and you can ask them.
Oh,
How you doing, nephew?
I'm good, man. Trying to cool off out here, though. We got 100 degrees out here right now.
Dude, there's 100 today here too, so quit crying, man. It's been 100 degrees here for like 3 weeks now. It is.
Yeah, but you got a super pool in the backyard to go out there and chill in.
That's true. Okay.
Yeah.
I ain't mad at you. Hey, Tupac says that. I ain't mad at you. That's my boy, man. So what else is going on, man? How's the family doing?
Everybody's doing good. The wife was here for the weekend, hanging out with me for a minute.
Holy smokes. She
Yeah,
came home. That's cool.
She came in Friday, left Sunday. So
and her mom is doing okay?
She's doing better. Every day is a little bit of an improvement. So
yeah.
God willing, we'll get to the point where she's back to herself.
Yeah, well, you'll get there, bro. I mean, I'm sure, I keep you guys all in my prayers. That's for damn sure. Thinking about you all so much, so. But you guys are always in my prayers, so thank you so much for, being a part of my life. I can actually say that to both of you and Kiki.
Yeah, well, we appreciate it, and we appreciate you, sir.
Being fam. Hey, anyway, folks, let's get right into this. So, because what's going on, everybody here? Welcome back to Respect to Talk, where we don't just talk about headlines, we talk about what they really mean. We're not here to tell you what to think. We're here to ask you the questions, challenge ideas, and look at what's happening from different perspectives. Before we get started, though, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on those notifications so you never miss an episode. If you're listening on your favorite podcast platform, make sure you follow the show and leave us a review. That support helps us continue bringing you these conversations. Seriously, it really does, so thank you so much from the bottom of our heart over here at Respect to Talk. We've got a lot to get into today: politics, history, media, accountability, and some of the stories that have people talking all across the country. So sit back, grab your cocktail or soda, and get comfortable. James, what we got here, bro?
Again, welcome everybody, and we've got a lot to talk about, like you said today. So we're gonna first start off with the passing of Lindsey Graham, and what that really means, and what it looks like, and what we should be remembering about him. Then we're going to talk about Mitch McConnell and the questions surrounding his political accountability, and why do both parties demand transparency except when it is directly about them.
Right.
We're also diving into America's 250th birthday celebration. Media bias around that, the role Fox Media plays, or Fox News, I should say, plays, political branding, Trump's financial disclosure, and finally, we're discussing the two people that climbed the Empire State Building. So there's a lot to talk about. We got some opinions here, so let's get into it.
Welcome to Respect the Talk with Jerry B.
Respect the talk. Respect the talk. Respect the talk.
All right, we're back at it again, man. We sitting up here talking about drinks here. And my nephew trying to get him some alcoholic beverages is going on here so he can get stupid.
Oh, now don't even play. My kidneys are virgins when it comes to alcohol. Don't smoke, don't drink, none of that.
Well, I don't smoke, but I do drink. Let me
Yeah.
put it this way. I don't drink. I socialize, whatever the hell that means. But I'm teasing. No, I don't. No, I'm not a big drinker either, bro. So don't feel bad, man. I mean, if I'm having a party at my house, I have some cocktails with everybody. Or if I'm out doing a show, I have cocktails with people. But other than that, me and Tori don't drink around here at all. But Pepsi, I got my Pepsi. Yeah.
Well, I was calling my nephew to ask for one of his Calypso lemonades, so I'm chilling.
Whatever that crap is, man. But I won't even go there. But hey, anyway, let's jump into this, folks. Segment 1 here. Let's talk about remembering Lindsey Graham, the legacy, the loyalty, and the politics of rewriting history. Now, this always throws me for a loop, and we got like some topics that we want to talk about here, folks. So I'm gonna run through these pretty darn quick. Hopefully you can keep up. And then we're going to have James jump in here because these are some serious topics. You know what's crazy? Whenever somebody in politics passes away, all of a sudden, people want to rewrite history. And look, first things first, rest in peace to Senator Lindsey Graham. Losing someone is never something to celebrate. But at the same time, we have to be honest about a person's public career. We can respect someone's life while still having a conversation about the choices they made. Senator Graham's passing at the age of 71 has sparked a lot of different reactions. And honestly, that's expected. People are going to look at his career through different lenses. When Lindsey Graham first became a senator, a lot of people saw potential. He was someone who seemed willing to challenge his own party at times. It seemed like he had his own lane, which was amazing and a breath of fresh air. But over the years, especially with his relationship with President Trump, a lot of people felt like there was a major shift. Not was, but is. His position on certain issues his defense of President Trump, and the way he approached politics became a major part of his identity. And that's where the debate comes in. Some people saw it as loyalty. Others saw it as a change from the person they thought they knew. You look at the issues like the Affordable Care Act, immigration, and other major policy debates. And critics would argue that the Lindsey Graham they saw later in his career wasn't the same Lindsey Graham they remember early on. And then you have the relationship with Senator John McCain. He had a great relationship. That was a friendship and political partnership a lot of people watch closely. There have been public comments, including from Meghan McCain, about how the relationship changed over time after Graham became closer with President Trump. Corrupt as always. Now, whether people agree with that criticism or not, that's part of the conversation when people talk about his legacy. And here's my problem with how we handle these things. Every time somebody important passes away, people want to whitewash history. They want to only talk about the good stuff and pretend the complicated parts don't exist. But history doesn't work like that. It really doesn't work that way, folks. People are complicated. Leaders are complicated. You can't acknowledge someone's years of service while also questioning the decisions they made. And for many critics, they feel like Senator Graham changed, which he did. They feel like he became someone they didn't recognize anymore politically. That's going to be part of the conversation about his legacy. So again, rest in peace, Senator Graham. But let's also be honest. Remembering someone doesn't mean we stop having conversations about the impact they had. Come on, James, jump in here. I'm sure you got something to say about that.
For the most part, I want to say, just kind of correct you on one thing. My condolences to the family, to the friends and family who will miss him, I'm sure. But as far as rest in peace that you deserve and you've earned.
Yeah.
So that's where I stand. If whatever your belief systems are, whatever higher power is out there, I hope he gets the peace that he deserves.
Yeah.
So if the all powerful one, the almighty one, decides that
he don't deserve it,
he doesn't deserve peace, then so be it. If he thinks that in his heart of heart that the man did what he was supposed to, that he did what he thought was right, then so be it. Rest in the peace that you deserve, sir.
Well, and that's a correct correct way to put that. I mean, here's my thing, and I've always said this. This is not something that just happened, folks. Trust me, this is not something I've been saying this for a lot of years. I even told Tori this. I said, my wife, I said, look, when I pass away, I want to have a party, but don't have people going up on the mic lying about me, being up there talking about how great of a guy I was. That's all BS. I mean, I was a great guy. You had fun with me, but don't be sitting up there lying about it. All this other, just tell the truth. All I want people to do is just tell the damn truth, because I live my truth. This is what I'm living. It's my truth. So don't try to whitewash what I was when this is who I am. So if you thought different of me, that's what you talk about. Say he was a crazy SOB, and that's what you talk. If that's what you felt about me, that's what you say about me. Don't whitewash my history, and that's what I don't like what these people doing. And I've been saying this for years, not just because it's in the Lindsey Graham died. I've been saying this for years, and it's always been my stance on people passing away, because I knew some people that passed away, and I'm like, and everybody talking about, oh my God, he was such a nice guy. I'm like, no, he wasn't. I knew that SOB, and he wasn't a nice guy. What the hell are you? What guy are you talking about? I mean, it's like, don't see sitting up there lying like that. And that's what they doing with Senator Graham. They sit up there saying before he was a great guy. Well, I'm not going to say great. He was an okay guy. Ever since he got with Trump, his whole life changed. I mean, he even said that. If you go back and see when he was running for president against Trump and see the horrible things he said about Trump, he even said that guy is a snake, and if you try to trust him, I should have my producer bring up some of the stuff that Lindsey Graham said about Trump, and you see how much he flipped all of a sudden. It's like, wait a minute, how do you go from talking about this man like a dog, and all of a sudden he's the greatest thing on earth next to God, which is what Senator Lindsey Graham said just not too long ago. He's that right next to God, and it's like, dude, you're done. You're done.
And that's why I say rest in the peace that you deserved and earned. The hypocrisy that was there, the bowing down, and the creating a false idol out of Trump is enough to make me just regardless what his accomplishments were prior, that made me dislike, distrust, and not respect.
Well, it went out the window. It all went out the window.
Yeah. That's why I said the peace that you deserved and you've earned. It's the fact that it seemed that he had reached his opportunity. He had taken his opportunity to make amends for some of the things that he had done during Trump's first term at the January 6th riots. Yeah. He had that opportunity. He could have stepped back in line. Yeah. He could have he could have redeemed himself to some degree. But instead he chose to step in line behind
Trump, a kook. He said he was crazy, a jackass,
the repayment that he got for kissing the ring was in life. He got ridiculed more. There were still times when Trump would use his ire against him. But after he died, he got on Fox and Friends and first of all didn't want to talk about Lindsey Graham and any kind of respect that he had for him. He turned it all about himself.
Well, yeah, exactly. He died. He died, and he wanted to come back and fight for the Save America Act. It's like, dude, come on, really?
Yeah. And it was his loyalty to Trump was repaid by what I strongly believe were lies about him. But then again, who knows? Again, we're talking about a man who went from saying that he was a kook and that he was done. Remember January 6th, he said he's done.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he said that right on there. I'm done with him. I am done with him.
And right if you believe Trump, him being done with him lasted for 40 minutes.
Yeah. It did.
before he called him back and said, he called me back and said, what was I saying? What was I, so who knows? Who knows?
You know what that
Trump
means.
could have said I need you
You
to
know what that
support it.
means, right? You know what
No.
that is, right? For all you folks out there that can see the video.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, man. It's like, really, dude. I mean, come on. This is I'm gonna get off the dead man though. Let's move on because, like I said, they want to whitewash history of how great this guy was, and they don't want to, and I'm like, no, that's BS. I'm not going to allow that. I'm just not going to allow you guys to sit there and say this man was this great. No, he was a hypocrite. I'm sorry. And people are like, you don't speak dead of the ill. The hell of you don't. He was a hypocrite. I'm sorry. He was a hypocrite in what he did and what he was doing. And then he was also a warmonger. He wanted this war in Iran with Trump. And look at where we are right now today. But like I said, let's get off this and move to the next one because we were talking about political.
Before we do jump,
okay, go ahead, bro. Go ahead, nephew.
The only other thing is, I want to say is, shame on this president and the governor of Lindsey Graham State.
Gotcha, Kentucky, yeah.
For putting his sister, who has zero political, probably had zero political aspirations.
She didn't.
Let alone experience.
She didn't.
To take over that seat.
It's a vote. That's all. They didn't want to lose that vote.
Exactly.
That's what that's all about.
Point, all that happened was they got another puppet in there.
Yeah, that's all it is. Another puppet to Trump. And she's going to be that, and her name's going to go down as mud, and she's going to come out of there. It's like, I don't know why. I've always talked about how these people are allowing these parties to use them as bait, and they put them up on these stages. Even these people whose kids die, and the political parties bring them on stage and flaunt them around as bait or whatever, like props. And it's like, how do you allow yourself to be used as a prop? Your daughter or your son just died. And now you're going to sit up there and be a prop because they called you in here, and like that girl that the Mexican killed, and Trump made a law about her. I can't remember the name of it. And it's like, she's a prop, and then you let her use your daughter as a prop. And so are you a prop because you stand on stage with them talking about all Mexicans now. And now you're just as bad as the rest of them because, anyway, whatever. It's just crazy, man. Just crazy.
Yeah.
Political hypocrisy, bro.
Yeah.
Mitch McConnell. Shit's going on with Mitch McConnell right now. Transparency, double standard debate. I don't talk about this movie I've seen because I got to tell you, folks. I can't believe the Republican Party is doing what some people are calling a weekend at Bernie's routine with Mitch McConnell. I don't know if you've seen that movie, and the reason this conversation is getting attention is because the hypocrisy of people are pointing out. It's just ridiculous. For years, Republicans criticized President Biden and Democrats over questioning about leadership, health, and trans. That's when we lose the ability to call anybody else out. Come on, folks. Get up. Stand up. Stand up for your rights now. Stand up for accountability. Stand up for what you believe in, because if you don't stand for something, eventually you'll fall for anything. And that's the conversation we need to keep having right now today. Come on, Junior, stop and jump up, Bobby. Come on, talk to me, man. Talk to me.
Yeah. It to me, it's, I don't want to jump into the whole conspiracy thing, but they kind of put us in a boat where we almost have no choice but to, we can't believe our own lying eyes, according to the press and according to this administration. We can't believe our own lying eyes. We can't believe what the media says. We can only believe what this administration tells us, even though they tell us 5 different stories all at the same time, half of them contradicting each other. And the ringleader of them all has been caught in at least 30 lies per day. So
per second. What do you mean per day?
Yeah, it's one of those situations where if his lips are moving, he's lying. Right. So, and that's who we're supposed to believe. So with Mitch McConnell, we're looking at a situation where they're telling us that he's alive and well in the hospital, just recovering, and put a photo out just to kind of say, see, look, he's okay, with a picture of a newspaper in.
Right.
You know, your brother, my father, does photography.
Right. Yeah.
He is still he would still consider himself a novice.
Right.
But I've seen some of the photos that
Oh my
he's
God,
done.
they're amazing.
They are. And
They're
I've seen some of the
amazing.
things that he has in his photos that he's able to take out and able to put in. So why is it so and he's a novice.
Right.
He considers himself a novice.
Right. Yeah.
So why shouldn't I believe that they couldn't Photoshop a newspaper in?
Oh yeah.
You know, a date on the newspaper. I'm supposed to believe that they can't do that.
Oh my, you know that somebody came back and said that's an old picture of him sitting in the hospital, and here's the rub. You got I can't remember the guy's name on TV talking about. I talked to him for 20 minutes, and then come to find out he was texting with him for 20 minutes, which he really wasn't texting him. He was texting one of his staffers, and somebody else said the same thing. They were talking to him for 20 minutes. Look, if you can talk to somebody who's not in a Republican office, okay, not no, I mean, you got the Republican leader, John Thune, and you didn't call him for 20 minutes. You called these cracker box people that aren't even in office, and they can say, well, I spoke to him for 20 minutes a day without talking to the leadership of the Republican Party on either side. He didn't even call Donald Trump, but he called who? These guys, really? Can you really guys believe that? He's going to call everybody except for the party that he works for. Now, what sense does that make? I mean, it doesn't. It doesn't make any
Not at
sense.
all. Not at all.
You got a
You
bunch of
know,
people that's going to sit there and lie and say what they want you to say. And again, guess what it's all about? A vote. They cannot allow to lose Mitch McConnell because they would lose a vote. And here's the big rub. Okay, the governor in Kentucky is it the governor? He's from Kentucky. Yeah, no. That's what's his name. Mitch
that's
is
great.
from South Carolina. Where's he from? Mitch McConnell is
Uh,
from oh God, I can't remember. Whatever state he's from, the governor is a Democrat. So if something happens to Mitch McConnell, he gets to pick who takes his place. Which guess what? It's gonna be a Democrat.
yeah, yeah,
Louisville, Kentucky, but he's considered so this kind of boy, but he's considered Louisville, Kentucky to be home. Louisville, Kentucky is represented by yeah. So anyway, so but the governor there is a Democrat, and that's the problem, and that's why they cannot allow Mitch McConnell not to be a part of the Republican Party because right away they're going to lose for the next 4 months and have a Democrat in there. So guess what? Now the thing's going to really shift. So they're playing this stupid game, and people got to wake up because even for the Republican Party, that's a game a little bit. That's a bridge should be a little bit too far for you guys out there. You
yeah,
know,
yeah,
it really
absolutely.
should be. It
You
should be a
know,
bridge.
and like I said, I don't want to run down a rabbit hole and deal with conspiracies, but you know, it it's suspect.
No.
It's suspect.
Like I
You
said,
know,
they're doing a weekend at Bernie's routine.
yeah,
And folks, if you haven't seen it, you ought to check that movie out, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Because I'm telling you, that's what it seems like with this Mitch McConnell thing. They're doing the weekends at Bernie's routine. Hey, let's jump into the next topic. America just turned 250 celebration, and they still doing it right now today. Okay, and I'm hearing so many people celebrating America's 250 birthday. I was watching Chris Como the other night. And every guest that came on his show got a happy birthday, America. Now, don't get me wrong. I have no problem celebrating America. I'm proud to be an American. What bothered me was hearing over and over again how far this country has come in 250 years, how everybody should be excited because no country has accomplished what America has today. Now, did we have this topic last week? You remember?
We did. We touched on it. And like I said, the only thing I wanted to revisit was the laughter I enjoyed by seeing that nobody was at the
No,
Trump.
wasn't that funny? Yeah.
Yes.
And they said there was a bunch of people there. Thousands of people were there. Thousands. Even Fox, and I don't know, did you see Fox News up there lying?
Yes.
They said that,
They
literally
were,
lying about the people there.
that's why I said you can't believe your lying eyes. Don't believe your lying eyes, even though they're showing you that there's more workers out there than there are people out there to enjoy the
Whatever it
fair.
was, yeah.
Whatever it was, yeah.
Yeah, they had like 5 guys sitting at a table and they had the thing right behind them, and they said, "Yeah, it's so busy back here. Thousands of people are here celebrating America 250." And it's like, and I'm looking at the picture and I'm like, you guys sitting up here just lying to people, and you're a news station. Well, you call yourself a news, and I don't know how you folks keep. You guys seen it for yourself. You were looking right at it. You seen the picture, listening to them lying to you. To your face, and you guys are still watching Fox and believing that crap that comes out of their mouth. I just don't believe it, man. It's just freaking insane, man.
Yeah, because the reason why it was so funny to me is because I was sitting there watching the Fox coverage of it, and I heard them say that, and I thought back and I said, you know what? When I go to work, every half an hour, they call out the door count and how many people have come in. Any one of those door counts would exceed what's out there.
Right.
It was hilarious to me that everything this guy touches flops.
Yeah, it turns to crap.
Yeah.
And I mean, this just shows, in my opinion, how biased Fox News has become. I'm flipping through the channels during America's 250 celebration that day, seriously. And I'm seeing fireworks celebrations and communities coming together on just about every major network. I don't know if you did that, but then I turned to Fox, and instead of focusing on a celebration, I felt like they focus stayed right on politics the entire day. Okay, now people love yelling about CNN, ABC, NBC, CBS being biased. Fine, criticize them if you want, but at least they were showing people celebrating America's birthday. Fox News has already paid a massive settlement over false claims made during election coverage. That's public records, folks. That's public record. So, you can't sit there and deny that. So when people tell me they're the network people should trust above anyone else, I have to ask, based on what? Please, based on what? To me, it feels like division has become part of the business model for Fox. It keeps people angry. It keeps people blaming somebody else. Keep pointing over there so nobody can look over here, which is all they do. That's exactly how politics keep people distracted. And honestly, I'm freaking tired of it. I am tired of it. I've sat there and listened to all these people say, well, you can't blame CNN and blah, blah, blah. I watch Fox and CNN. Okay. And on CNN, they have Republicans on there, and they actually bashed on CNN Democrats. I watched them. They sat there, that guy in Maine, they were all over that guy in Maine, bashing the crap out of him. And they had Republicans coming on there, and they're all having a bash fest. So you can't tell me CNN's biased. But then I turn on Fox News, and they never, ever have a Democrat on there. Everybody they bring on their station are all diehard Republicans that are bashing Democrats, which is why all Republicans' main brain is like this, spinning in circles.
Yeah, because even the one show where they have one Democrat on, it is literally 1 on 5.
Yeah.
She has to sit there and basically debate against 4 or 5 other people. Yeah. What kind of
odds is that?
Yeah, what kind of odds is that? How often do you think she's gonna actually be able to get a point across? Yeah. And with that being the business model, that being the show format, how much are her hands tied by the producers and the corporate management, how much can she actually say? How much is she allowed to actually say?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sure they got their hands tied down because that's the news station, man. That's who they are, you know. So it's just crazy. It's a crazy, crazy life we live in. But you know, let's take a quick break, man. But we got some more great topics to come at you, folks. But we're going to take a quick break and to get a breath of air, breath fresh air. Take a little time, go to the bathroom, do whatever you got to do. Grab you something to drink. We'll be right back, no matter what. See you in 2 and 2. Hi, folks. This is Jerry B from Pride and Joy Travel. Hey, we got our Wild Hogs and Bikers cruise going out November 29th, where we're stopping at Nassau, Coast Bahamas, Coco Cay, and Falmouth, Jamaica. This is going to be one cruise to remember. Why? Because it's our Wild Hogs and Bikers cruise, where we have our own leather and lace karaoke contest. You guys come on. You don't have to be a biker to go. You don't need to wear leather and lace to be a part of the cruise. Just come have some fun with us this holiday season. Also, we have a great duo show going on called the Dooley Brothers Entertainment. That's me and my brother from Tomorrow's People. We're going to be rocking the house for you at a private concert just for you guys. We got a miniature golf tournament going on. So, folks, come join the fun. We got prices starting at $747 per person. That is just $747 per person for a 7-day beautiful cruise. Pick up the phone. Get your rooms booked. Call 920-265-8143. That's Jerry B. That's me. 920-265-8143. And come. We'll see you at sea, y'all. All right, folks, we're back here again with Jerry B. And I got my nephew in the house with me today, so it's going to be one. We got some more great topics coming your way. Glad to have you back, nephew.
Oh, absolutely, sir. I'm glad to be back.
Yeah, so I mean, are they calling you in any other time on a Tuesday night? Or you don't
Um,
know?
I don't know. That was, like I said, we lost a few people. We got one guy who quit because he's going back to his original or country of origin for a electrical apprenticeship program he had applied for years ago. We got another guy who has a business and it's ramping up, so he had to leave. We have another guy who went out for cancer surgery
Oh,
and
okay.
rehab. So um, all of it kind of culminated in
Yeah.
that Tuesday where it was just like, well, we got to get some coverage in here. So
Yeah, that's all good, bro. I mean, I get it. I get it. Hey, I thank you guys very real quick before we go any further. I want to thank all the folks that's checking in on us on our chat box. Appreciate you checking in our chat box. Know you're listening in, so we definitely want to give you a thank you. Take our hats off to you. Now let's jump on the Trump financial disclosure is wild because here's a little advice for the Democratic Party. This is where it pisses me off. Okay, if you really want to get under MAGA skin, stop complaining and start branding. I'm talking to all you Democrats out there. Think about it. Trump supporters have flags, hats, shirts, banners, you name it. Politics today is marketing, whether people want to admit it or not. So if Democrats really want to make a point, here you go. Why not create a flag highlighting Trump's financial disclosures and all the ways critics argue has profited politically? Now, go to my Facebook page on Respect to Talk because I put up a little thing on there that's got it all, and you can make a flag out of that. and put that on your car and drive around with those hanging on your car, just like they drive around with Trump or 2024, 2027. Drive around with those flying in the wind. Put them on boats, put them on trucks. Do exactly what Republicans have been doing for years, because whether you agree or disagree, branding works. Politics isn't just one with speeches anymore, it's one with messaging. If Democrats really believe Trump represents what they call a grift, then stop saying it and stop saying it only in interviews. Put it where people can see it. Just an idea for you Democrats out there. Because I seen that. They put it on TV, and I think I put it on my Facebook page, I Respect to Talk, and it shows, and it's in red, white, and blue or whatever, but it shows all the ways Trump made money over this last year. And it was framed really nicely. So I took a picture and put it on Facebook page. I said, if the Democrats were smart, they'd take that thing and make a flag out of it. And they would distribute that to all the Democrats and let them drive around so to remind people the grift that Trump has been doing for this whole year and the years before. And they'll see that because it'd be in their face all the time, flagging. I made $1 billion in 6 months, off of my crypto coin that I created while you suckers are getting poor. It's like.
And, it was all market manipulation with the cryptocurrency. So,
I know.
it.
He made billions, and everybody else that bought that dumb coin lost their butts on it. Yeah. Everybody that bought that coin lost, except for guess what? Him. He got his billions on it. Who's the idiot here, folks? Not him. You got to give it up to Trump.
and you got to look too at, all the grifting that he's done and how much money he's made off of just grifting.
Yeah.
And it's we have never had a president that, I mean, even if he said that he walked away from his business with Trump real estate, we all know he didn't.
Yeah, because he said he gave it to the sons to run it. Well, the sons are just you.
Right. His sons aren't smart enough to run the business. We're looking at Eric and Don Jr. Don Jr., if it had been left to his devices, I'm sure it would have disappeared and white powder up his nose.
Yeah, exactly. So
and Eric just doesn't have the savvy to actually do anything like that. So we know where all the advice was coming from.
Yeah.
And based on all accounts, he's too much of a hands-on person in order to let it go and let his sons run it like that. So there's no way that anybody reasonable would say that he walked away from his business and let his sons run it.
Oh, absolutely correct.
And again, never in the history of our country, talking about 250 years, never in the history of our country has any president been, during their time in office, sold shoes, watches, cryptocurrency,
took people to their private residence or whatever they call it. He's made this keeps getting me too, because I keep hearing these morons. Yeah, I'm gonna call you morons. Keep talking about, well, he's working for free. Free? Are you freaking kidding me? He's not taking a salary. Now, a president's salary is like $224,000 a year. He's made, in the last year and whatever, I think they said he made $400-something million off of having all the Secret Service and everybody and all these people flying over to his place here in Florida and staying there at that property. So he's making money, $1 million. He's charging people $1 million a day to stay there, all because he's president at that property, a golf course, and they're paying it. All these people coming from overseas talking about making money. Are you freaking kidding me? He gave away what? Hell, I'll give you $200,000 if you let me steal $300 million.
Exactly. And from his first term, that was part of the discussion that was disclosed, that he would have an extended Secret Service force have to stay with him if he went to Trump Towers or to Mar-a-Lago, in particular Trump Towers.
Right.
He would have to have an expanded or an extended Secret Service detail. He would put them all up in their own rooms and charge them a higher than normal rate.
Right. For the Secret Service to stay there.
Yeah. So he, by no means, like you said, did he actually work for free. He worked for, hell, the connections of it alone.
Yeah, he worked for the grift.
Yeah, exactly. He worked for the grift. He made money hand over fist.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's
And
all
I'll be
taxpayers' money. It's all
yeah,
our money.
exactly.
And people want to know
Exactly.
why you guys hate Trump so much. Why are you guys always screaming at Trump? You know, if you don't give a crap about somebody pissing your hard-earned money away, that's on you. But don't ask me not to care. Because I can piss my own damn money away. I don't need nobody else to piss my money away. We pay taxes every day. Every day. They take taxes out of your check every day to go to the federal government for him to piss away, which is your money, my money. And you don't think I'm supposed to be mad at it? Well, I tell you what, young man out there who don't want me to be mad because Trump's pissing away your money, next time you get paid, bring your paycheck my way. Or more
And
to
you
the
know,
point,
we talk all the time about how I see them twisting their mental gymnastics and twisting themselves in knots trying to justify this stuff.
yeah.
Because I know they get mad about money being wasted or money being used that's not used correctly, because otherwise Doge wouldn't have been a thing.
Right, exactly.
Otherwise they wouldn't have made such a big deal about Doge. Otherwise they wouldn't have. I get text messages, and I haven't, and I have not unsubscribed from them because I like seeing, for the research of it, I like seeing what they're putting out there. So I get text messages from PragerU and some other group, Republican think tank group, and they pump out there things like Dems are close to passing SB whatever XYZ,
Right.
which gives them the right to give your pension away to illegals. Or the one that I got today is that Dems are close to passing an act that will make it illegal for you to ask for identification for voting purposes. These are things that basically could be money thrown away. So I know that the other side, the Republican side, they hate seeing money wasted.
Right, yeah.
But for whatever reason, this guy in office can waste as much of their money as he wants. He could set it on fire. And they say, "Oh, he's just trying to warm us up."
Right, right.
And it's sad to me that, like I said, that they will do the mental gymnastics and twist themselves in
Knots.
emotional knots to justify what he does, so that they don't, so that they can still support this man.
Yeah. Well, folks, here, let me give you guys another thought out there in Facebook land, in Respect to Talk land. Okay, all the projects he's doing in Washington, the pool, the ballroom, and now the front of the building, and then trying to build that arch down there, that's your taxpayers' dollars he's pissing away. Whether you guys know it or not, that is your taxpayers' dollars he's pissing away. Then they got then Congress and the Senate got the audacity to say, hey, we won't have Social Security by the year, whatever it is. You know why? Because they're pissing it away right now, and they're allowing this guy to piss it away on doing stuff. That house don't need to be remodeled. I mean, they didn't need to do any of that stuff. Oh my God, I can't believe you guys are sitting up there like, oh, well, you need everybody else remodeled the White House. Why can't he?
Right.
And that's the kind of crap I heard too. I've literally heard people say
I'm
that.
hearing it too. It was Obama, for example. Obama desecrated it by turning a tennis court into a basketball court. Now, when you look at it, he really didn't even do that. What he did was he added a basketball rim to an unused tennis court.
Right. It's still the same concrete. He didn't dig it up to do that. It's the same concrete. You idiots. He
And
just
if
put
I'm
up a
not mistaken, I don't even think he pulled down the post for the tennis net.
right for them so they can
He
still
didn't
play
even
tennis
pull the
on it.
post down. He just erected a basketball rim.
And people
And
lose their mind over it.
right, right. I think he painted the lines for a free throw line, and I think that's about it.
Yeah. It's just people like you said tie themselves in knot. Here's another thing that we got to talk on, touch base on, because this was crazy to me too, and I don't know if we had this conversation about these two people climbing the Empire State Building. Wait, what? These two idiots climbed the Empire State Building. I don't know if you guys seen this, and now we're talking about federal charges. Now I gotta ask, how does that happen? Now, before anybody misunderstand me, let me be clear. I called them idiots. I did. I called them idiots. They absolutely should be charged. I'm not defending what they did. Trust me, I am not defending what they did. What I'm questioning is why the federal government immediately jumps in when the Empire State Building is owned by a private company. So my first thought is, wouldn't this normally be handled as a state matter? It just feels like every time something makes national headlines, the federal government, which is that chick, wants to rush in and show everybody how tough she is. Maybe there's a legal reason. Maybe there isn't. But from where I'm sitting, it feels like another example of government overreach. Charge them, hold them accountable. Just make sure you're using the right laws to do it. That's all I'm asking. That's a private company. They climbed a private building, owned by a private company. That's in a state. That is a state charge. That is not a federal crime. They did not cross over and do it for a federal crime. I mean, this is crazy.
Yep. And I just that's what I was doing, was looking it up. And it says the Empire State Building is private property, not a government or federal enclave. Therefore, it falls under local jurisdiction of New York City
Right.
and New York State.
Correct.
So 100%. Why are the feds getting involved in this?
Yeah. I mean, I don't understand it. What is her name? Janet Reno or some shit like that? Running right in. They're going to charge them to the max. For what? It's a state crime. It is not a federal crime. It's none of your damn business, woman. But she's got to get on TV and be all tough. Oh my God, I'm going to charge them to the hilt, to the max on federal charges. And I don't get it.
The laws that would apply to them would be the same as if somebody climbed on the roof of your house.
Exactly. Exactly. It's a state crime. So I don't know what, I mean, I don't know if you've seen this lately, which we can talk about next week. But, our fearless leader, the president, had so many federal judges overturning his laws, and he is pissed right now. They actually said that he couldn't do with the IRS now. They had a judge come back and said that thing he was trying to get him and his kids off from the IRS for 10 years. The federal government struck that down today. So they're going to try to appeal that. And then another judge called the federal government, can't remember, it was they said a bunch of racist bigots, and threw out some other charges or things that they were trying to do. And that came up today too. So a lot of things are going against them right now because they know these people are way, way, way overreaching right now. And it is just insane. Probably the biggest insane thing is his followers are still believing in this guy. And I just don't get it.
I mean, even talking about his losses, even his most recent appeal to the Supreme Court for his payment due with
the lady who for sexually assaulted. Yeah.
even with her,
Eugene Carroll. Eugene Carroll.
yeah, she he's tried to say, no, wait a minute, the Supreme Court got it wrong. We need to revisit this. I'm putting in an appeal to the Supreme Court for them to revisit it.
And you can't. You know, once the Supreme Court ruled, you're done. You're done. You can't
that's
appeal to
supposed to be
the
the end
Supreme
of it.
Court.
You know, and I tell you, if from what everybody's saying, the Supreme Court can take it under review, but basically that would be saying, nope, we got it wrong the first time. We're gonna look at it again now. You know, not even a different body, not even new judges. It's we got it wrong last week. We're gonna review it again now.
You know
that
what?
That should never ever happen.
That would
so
be.
If it does, then we know that there's a lot more to the corruption that's there than we even give credit for.
You know, not only that, here's the biggest rub to that. If the Supreme Court does that, they set precedents then they actually set precedents, which means now it could be overturned again, the Supreme Court. So now if a Democrat get in office next time, they can overturn Roe v. Wade, their decision on Roe v. Wade, and go back to where it used to be because they set precedents this time of doing this. So if they could do it, you just took all the logic and the stick-to-itness away from the Supreme Court now. Their ruling isn't law anymore. It means nothing.
That's
what would happen if they do this, and they'll set precedents for that to be overturned again. Because I guarantee, if they did that, people are going to bring back that abortion thing right back there in front of them. Especially if there's a Democrat to get in office, huh?
I don't doubt that that's going to come up again anyway. All it's going to take is a restructuring of the Supreme Court again. We lose one or two judges, then that would be up for debate, I believe.
Yeah. It's just, I don't know what's going on, man. It's a crazy world we live in, and it's a crazy political world we live in. And I know a lot of people putting their head in the sand and don't want to be involved in it because it's so much, which it is. It's a lot. It's a lot. That's why we do the show here, because it's a lot. But I enjoy talking about this stuff here, you know, and I enjoy discussing it with you, you know, too, you know, because, you know,
Same here. It gives me an opportunity to kind of vent.
Right, exactly. And that's the same thing here. It gives me an opportunity to kind of vent. And hopefully all you folks out there listening to us are picking up a little bit of things that we find, and you can Google it and know that we're not pulling your leg, because these are the things that we actually research, at least our producer does, and make sure we're not sitting up there lying to you about anything, because God forbid, we don't want to be like Fox News. You know, so anything we say on here is going to be something that we research. So, but it does. It gives us a chance to vent. And a lot of people, you know, I see a lot of people out there mad about the economy, and they're going about it. They're so mad about what's going on, but yet they hold it all inside because they don't want to vent like we do, you know. And that's the worst thing I feel personally. That's the worst thing a person could do, is just hold all that anger inside, because once you do that, then eventually you're going to explode, you know, and that's not a good thing to do. That's why it's nice that me and you can come on here and just, hey, we letting it out. People think we're mad. We're not mad. I mean, we're not angry. You know, we're just voicing our opinion.
Exactly. You know, and I heard somebody say yesterday, therapy is on the rise, and this is my therapy.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, maybe we should have called our show. Maybe we should have called our show, instead of Respect the Talk, called it Two Mad Black Men.
Don't do that. Don't do that, because there's too many people out there who would love to see something like that and just use that as fuel for something else.
know I would never do that, because we're not mad. Like I said, we're not mad. We have a good time talking on here. You know, we discuss and see how each other's life doing. So no, we're not mad. We just say this is what's on our mind, folks. And we're hoping we can bring every week, bring some different opinions your way, different thoughts your way, with the hopes that eventually, like these people did down below here, checking in with us and listening and everything. We appreciate that. But hopefully we're doing that for all you folks out there. It's giving you guys another thought to say, maybe they got a good point. Let me look at that. And it's easier to do it because all you got to do is pick your phone up and Google it. Just like what you did with the Empire State Building. You pick your phone up and Google it. And then you'll say, holy shit, they are right. It's a private entity. It has nothing to do with federal. And then you wonder yourself then, why is the federal government involved in a state problem? So why is she in there, Janet Reno in there? So maybe it'll eventually get you to say, those two guys got it going on because what they just said is correct.
Yeah. Because nowadays you can't go by legacy media. It's far too partisan. And granted, I consider myself rather partisan as well. But where I differ, I think, from most legacy media is that I'm going to give you my opinion. It's not going to be influenced by anyone else or any kind of business model.
Right.
It's going to be my opinion, and it's going to be based off of what I've looked up and what I've read.
Right. Yeah. And I don't consider myself as partisan at all because I hate both sides. I mean, not hate to the point that I don't, hate them. I dislike both sides so much because they don't compromise with each other. So I have no respect for either side right now. None. I try to find a leader in the Democratic Party that I keep trying to think in my head, who you have. And yeah, I might talk about Republicans a lot more than I talk about Democrats, but that's because the Republicans are in power right now and nothing's getting done, but then I look at the Democrats and I'm like, well, what the heck are you guys doing but sitting on your hands and complaining about Trump? And it's like you guys don't have any balls, but other than go online and or the news media and say how bad he is, and that just we all know that, guys. Democrats, let me tell you something. We know that. We know how bad they are, so we don't need to hear that. We need to hear, how are you going to fix it? You getting ready to go into a midterm election, and I have not heard one of you guys tell me, what are you going to do to make our life better? I heard you say how bad Trump is. I heard you say how bad this crazy war is, but I've never heard one of you, not one, tell me, what are you going to do to fix this problem that we're in right now? And that's what I'm waiting on. So yeah, I'm at a stalemate right now because I don't have anyone that I know I don't like the Republican Party and I don't like the Democratic Party. So that's why I call myself an independent, because I am in a stalemate, and I like to sit down with the Democratic Party and say, what are you guys doing? What do you stand for? That's all. Please answer me this. What do you stand for? If you're going to be a Democratic Socialist Party, then damn it, just say I'm going to be a Democratic Socialist Party. Just say it. Own it. Fess up to it. If you don't want to be it, don't sit there and give me this big tent crap. I mean, that to me sounds like a cop out. We're a big tent. We're a big tent, so everybody's welcome. Well, what the hell does that mean? I mean, Republicans are welcome in your tent.
Absolutely.
What does that mean?
Absolutely. If you are a Republican and you are tired of your old party and want to see things done differently, or you want to see, if you've come to the point now where you want to respect your fellow human and not just your fellow Republican, then come on over.
Now you want to know how that don't work? I'll tell you how that don't work. And I know we're going over. This is why that don't work. If you remember the Tea Party, that turned into, guess what? The MAGA Party, that, guess what, is running what the Republican Party is all about. That's what the Democrats are setting themselves up for if they don't fix this. You can't say I'm a Democratic Party, but I'm a big tent party. You got to be able to stand for something. And if you're going to be a socialist party, then say we're going to be a socialist party. But own up to it. There's nothing wrong with being a socialist. Now, some of their ideas are freaking radical and stupid. But for the most part, even Trump's talking about that does stuff that's more socialist ideas. The Republican Party does stuff that's more socialist ideas. But what they're doing is they're allowing, again, I say this over and over again, they're allowing the Republican Party to define who the Democratic Party is and make it a bad thing, just like they did with woke. They said make that a bad thing. Now they're doing the socialist thing and making that a bad thing. And if you see Trump now, he's trying to put socialists as communists now. So they're trying to make, and these people in the Republican Party so crazy, they believe that shit. So they jump all over that and they rename the Democrat, and you got people out there start believing it.
This is true.
This is why I say you got to fight for who you are. If you're going to be that, then be that and stand up for it, but knock away all this other crap that these socialists are talking about. Mandami, because they talk about Mandami like I got into an argument with somebody. I'm like, he's the mayor of New York. How's that going to affect you down in Florida? What the heck are you worried about him? I don't get that. Bernie Sanders has been a socialist, and he's been in office for how many years? And he hasn't affected nothing here. So what are you talking about? But now they really, if you watch the news and listen to the news, all they talk about, Democrat socialists taking over the world. Oh my God, they turn it into communists and blah, 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 blah. And they trying to make the Democrats be this big boogeyman. Ooh, you got to be scared out there. You got to be scared. Those Democratic socialists. And the Democrats are sitting back here like, oh, we're a big tent party. We'll take anybody in. I'm sorry, my nephew. I'm sorry, man.
I see your argument. However, I will raise you that having an open party allows for different views, which is the true strength of this country.
Oh, true.
That is why our amendments are so important, because it allows, the First Amendment allows for different opinions to be voiced, which allows for people to see multiple sides of different things, and brighter ideas and cooler heads should prevail.
I agree, except for they're not saying that. They're only thing I'm hearing the Democratic Party say is how bad Trump is. Okay. What I am not hearing from them is when they hear one of these Democrat socialists say, we got to get rid of the police and ICE and the Congress. That right there, these Democrats should step up and say that is absolutely nonsense. We are not going to sit there and let you talk like that around us, because that is not who the Democrats stand for. Because that is what they're saying. They're saying some crazy, crazy things out there, nephew. I mean, crazy things. They're talking about we got to get rid of the Congress and the Senate and not have that anymore. That's what our Constitution is built on, you idiots. How do you now you're talking about getting rid of the Constitution?
But the Democratic Socialist Party is a bunch of young dreamers who haven't experienced life yet. They are hoping for changes that will never come, and if they did ever happen, things would just fall apart.
Well, you got three of them that won. That just recently won into service, so they're going to be in Congress talking stupid.
Those are young dreamers that haven't had life kick them in the teeth yet. Those are folks who grew up winning participation trophies and right. I'm serious.
Yeah, I know.
Those are people who never really got told no, and definitely never got explained why no.
Yeah, but here's the issue. Like I said, if you remember the Tea Party, they ran the leader out of office, because it was too much of a battle. So you get enough Democrat socialists in office, they're not going to allow the Democrats to get anything done, because guess what? You need those votes to pass anything. So the more you have, and if you're on a slim margin, next thing you know, you're tied up with a Marjorie Taylor Greene now. That if you don't...
We had in the Democratic Party, we've had that for generations now. There's always been somebody who claimed to run as a Democrat, and you can go through and look at their history of votes, and they voted against the Democrats and their agenda more times than
Well, yeah,
they
look at
voted
that. Look at
for
that idiot from Pittsburgh right now. What's his name? I can't think of his name. For Pennsylvania, John Fetterman. John Fetterman.
Fetterman, right.
Yeah, look at him.
Before Fetterman, there were two people in Congress that one man, one woman, I can't think of their names off the top of my head, that swore up and down that they were Democrats and voted against the Democrats more often than not.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So, hey, I know we got to go here. So, 6:08. Sorry we kept prolonging, folks. Maybe we'll start this topic again next week. That was a great topic, man, to end on. But like I said, we can't finish it. Maybe we can do it again next week, though, because that is a big conversation to talk about the Democrats. And, don't get me wrong. I used to be a hardcore Democrat, too. I really did. Man, I lost it. I lost it. And we'll talk about that next week. We won't get into that. I'll tell you next week when I lost it and when I became an independent. And we'll discuss that next week.
That sounds good.
And I'll put that on the book. So, folks, we want to thank you guys for tuning in this week with me and James. We love you guys. We thank you, and thank you all for checking in. We see you down there in the chat area. So you guys take care. Have a safe and blessed rest of your week. Peace out.
All right.
Bye.
Love y'all.
Welcome to Respect the Talk with Jerry B.